Day number 3, new video. Right now, my oldest son with me, Sean. Sean, go ahead and introduce yourself. Let them know your age and what grade you're going into.
17, and this is my senior year this year at Haltom High.
Nice. So I got Sean on here for a reason. You know, I wanted to ask him some questions, and these questions that I'm about to ask him are not rehearsed. I didn't course him on anything. We didn't talk about these questions before. I just want to kind of get his honest opinion and see where his viewpoint was on a few different things, and just see what the youth thought, and just to see a certain balance of something. So right now we're gonna just go ahead and just jump right into this. Sean, as far as America right now, what are your thoughts as far as like the state that America's in? Do you think America's doing good right now? Do you think they're doing great? Do you think they're doing poorly, or you think we're stagnant? We're right. We're okay. We're average.
I think it's always room for improvement with anything, of course, you know. But I love America. You know, when I talk to my friends about like our views on America, I think it's like, you know, it's a great country. You know, we're able to have freedom of speech, you know, to an extent. Like, if I didn't like our president, I could be like, screw our president. Not like I don't, but you can't say that in Asia without getting like kidnapped or something. But I think America is good. It's just a lot of people like teaching the wrong things sometimes. Like my generation, especially people like around my age, it's a lot of violence, or it's a lot of people teaching kids like about sex at a young age, and I feel like it's just crazy, you know. It's just stuff like that. It's just like I don't want my little sisters and little brothers to have to worry about vaping in school. You know, they shouldn't have to. That shouldn't be an option. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Okay. So as far as that, because I agree with you, America's a great country. I mean, they've done amazing things. They have one of the strongest militaries in the world. They've had some of the greatest minds out here and all that kind of stuff. And it's crazy right now to see the state of America. As far as it seems like, in a sense, we're in a decline.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I agree. Cause like people, like back in your time, when people would join the military, it'd be an honor and stuff like that. And now it's like we funding people that we're going against sometimes. You know,
right.
Some terrorist groups will be sending them money and stuff like that.
And also, do you think as well, like people are also going to the military maybe nowadays for the wrong reasons?
Yeah, nowadays it's like honestly, I almost did too, kind of. Like I when I was younger, I used to want to go to the Marines because I wanted to be a real like manly man, and I wanted to be like the American dream. I wanted to be able to protect and fight, you know what I mean? I wanted to be able to protect my family or my home, and I wanted to be respected for it. But now it's like people in this generation, they don't even respect the military, and that's because the military has completely changed. Like Marines will be out there protecting Molly fields and stuff like that instead of, I mean, I'm not saying that they don't do important things sometimes, but it's way different from how it used to be, for sure.
Okay, gotcha. Now, you mentioned in schools, you know, you're worried about your younger sister and brother, you know, being introduced to, you know, sex, vaping, and stuff like that. How early would you say you were introduced into, you know, hearing people doing that, and what grade would you say?
Man, like, if I'm being honest, like, probably like first, second grade, I started hearing about stuff like that. Like,
first and second grade?
My second grade year in elementary, I remember these kids, they were sitting right next to me, named Antavius and Charlie. It was a girl and a boy, and they were sitting there making the erasers, like the stuff on the erasers, and they would like keep getting a bunch of the pink, you know, the pink stuff off erasers, and they were saying that they were going to sell this like as drugs, or they'd like try to put it in paper to smoke it. Or Whoa. Kids would like pick up grass and just try to do crazy stuff. And
that blows my mind. Okay, and you know, Sean, I've known like Sean. You know, I've been in his life since what age?
Like 6, 7. 6.
No, I think before that.
Yeah, but I say probably like 5, 4. Maybe,
yeah, 4. Yeah, I would say like 4 or 5. And I didn't know nothing about this story right here. So this is crazy. And what's crazy to me is at the age of, you said second grade. Yep. There's no way a kid could just automatically imagine this stuff up in their head. So they've seen it somewhere. So I blame the parents on this aspect right here with something like that. The parents are definitely to blame. teachers should definitely be aware and paying attention of what's going in there, but it's hard to catch every single little thing. But at the end of the day, this is the parents' fault. So we need to also be super, super mindful of what we are, as parents, showing to our kids. I mean, that's crazy. That's insane for a kid to even have that thought process at that age. They shouldn't even know what that is. Nonetheless, think of creating something like that and turning it into a drug to sell around the school. Which brings me to the conversation. Do you think any of the music nowadays, as far as Cardi B's and the Sexy Reds and the Gorillas and Glorrillas and all that, do you think it's had an effect on some of the girls that you go to school with right now in high school?
I mean, to an extent, like it's more it depends on some people's like thinking capacity, like, because I know some people personally that listen to crazy music like that are like church girls or country girls. Like I know some white country girls that listen to Sexy Red sometimes, and that go to church and stuff like that. I mean, I don't know they full life, but it's like music only has an influence on some people if they like want to be like that. You know what I mean? Like they want to be like who they're listening to. Because I could listen to music, some crazy music, and not go do that crazy stuff. You know what I mean? I'll just be like, this is just nice to listen to, or it's cool to listen to, or I'll listen to some sad music and I won't be sad, you know. But definitely in this generation, I know what you're saying, because it has taken a hold of a lot of people.
No, because the reason being, okay, I'll give a little pushback on that. For one, with music, I think it has a huge influence on majority of people, just because most people can't harness and control their minds like that to a point, and most people aren't to that level of self-awareness to be like, you know, I'm not going to do this and understand what the music's trying to get them to do and all that kind of stuff. So that takes an actual thinker, someone that's really, but I'm talking about like a lot of majority, I'm generalizing, most of the girls that I'm seeing that are listening to this type of music, it's like literally tarnishing their mindset. And not only that, and the reason I say this is because every single thing we hear out of people's mouths, on TV, on the radio, from a child all the way to growing up, everything is a form of self-hypnosis. Even stuff that comes out of our mouth, it's a self-hypnosis that subconsciously gets to our brain, and we don't know the damage it does to our brain until years later.
Agree.
Sometimes
I agree.
For me, I grew up listening to like 3 6 Mafia, some of the hardest gangster rap as a kid, and that's all I would listen to. And for me, I didn't realize how much it tarnished my mind until years and years later, when I was like, dang, my whole thought process was based around certain things that I didn't even know. Like for example, when I was young and I would listen to, say, like 3 6 Mafia, they had cool beats, right? They had the beats and everything, and they had the lyrics. And the lyrics that sometimes would be like, they would say stuff about doing drugs, and the song, they would make it sound like it's a cool thing to do. Yeah. So into that time, I was already smoking weed and stuff like that. So when they were like, making other drugs sound cool, it almost made you want to be like, damn, I want to get messed up like that. So it's just, I'm not saying everybody's like that. Not everybody is, but it's just, for me being a kid at that time, and I was like probably like 13, 14, hearing that, and my mind was just thinking it was like, oh, this is cool. So do you think, though, as far as some of the lyrics that they might say might have detrimental effect on their mindset, some of these girls? Yeah, for sure.
Definitely, because I'm kind of a thinking type of person, like you were saying, how you don't want music to affect you. Like growing up, when the music I would hear, I just thought it was cool. Like I wasn't acting out or nothing like that. Like I didn't even smoke or nothing like that. I hear music about smoking and stuff like that. I didn't even want to try smoking because of the music, you know what I mean? I just tried it when I got older, like just because I wanted to get it over with. Just try. My friends would do it sometimes, but I never like thought of it like that. But you're definitely right, because growing up listening to music, they'd always be talking about you have to be rich or get rich, girls don't want no poor guy, stuff like that. And it made me grow up wanting money, or growing up I gotta be successful and stuff like that. So I know girls, like, they'll feel like if they're not dressing sexy or dressing like to reveal themselves, they're not feeling attractive in some way.
And absolutely, and that's for a different conversation. But I think women are in search of status.
Yeah.
But that's for a different conversation. But as far as the music and all that, though, there's a book I wanted to tell him about. It's by author Napoleon Hill, who wrote the famous book Think and Grow Rich. He also wrote a book called Outwitting the Devil, which was an amazing read. And for those that don't know about it, basically this book was a conversation I guess he had with the devil. The setting was a jury, a courtroom type setting where the devil was on the court stand and he was forced to tell the truth. And basically he was telling his secrets, the devil was telling his secrets on how he gets to people. And the chapters are broken down. It's a really good book. It's right here. And the chapters there's different, of course, chapters, but two of my favorite that really resonated and stuck out to me in the book was the chapters on hypnotic rhythm and environmental influence. And hypnotic rhythm, the devil talks about that in here as far as, and let me get this straight before I go any further. This book has nothing to do with satanic. It's not no devil stuff, nothing like that. It's actually a godly book. It's nothing where it's a book that helps us weaponize ourselves against the devil, if that makes sense. So it gives you tools to be aware of, so that way the devil don't get a hold of you. So it helps you. Yes, it helps you. So it's not no devil book. It's nothing like that. I've never be on that kind of tip. But in the book, as far as hypnotic rhythm, he talks about how he gets to people and gets inside people's heads using music. Using the beats of the music and what they're saying over the lyrics on how it hypnotizes people and gets inside their head, and they don't notice it then, but it's subconsciously brainwashing themselves. So it talks about that, and it also talks about the chapter on environmental influence, which is your surroundings. How that plays a big factor, and how he gets to you using your surroundings and the people around you and all that kind of stuff. So really good read. Sean, check it out. He's gonna go ahead and read that book right there, right, Sean?
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna check this out. Napoleon Hill is a great writer.
Yeah,
sure. That book, what was it called? Think and Grow Rich. I had just checked that out from my library, and I haven't finished reading it yet because I like reading those psychological type books. I had finished the 48 Laws of Power, and that book Think and Grow Rich, it kind of touches the same subjects, but it goes into more depths, and it's easier to understand because the 48 Laws of Power really just talks about it just tells you what things are, and it's
oh, you checked out the 48 Laws of Power, Robert Greene.
Yeah, that book's super good.
Yeah, really good book. Anyone that hasn't checked that one out, also Robert Greene, 48 Laws of Power. It goes over amazing laws. Some of them are very grimy. You gotta be careful. So now, if you do want power and all that kind of stuff, you gotta understand there is gonna be some grimy things that come with it. So some of the laws in there are very
it kind of almost borderline
shady,
teaches you manipulation, almost kind of way. But Think and Grow Rich kind of teaches you how to identify it instead of how to do it. It's it's a really good read. Both of them are good reads. So let's go ahead and ask some more questions. What do you think about the whole thing with some schools, or not even just some schools, but the whole thing trying to force on pronouns? What do you think about that? I feel like, personally, I personally feel like anybody can do whatever they want to an extent, but I don't think people should be teaching their kids that. If you get older, hit teenage years, if you feel like you something else or you somebody else, then that's you. I feel like everybody should respect that. But if you're teaching it to kids, or like my grandmother raised me and she was a lesbian, but she ain't teach me to be gay. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So basically, it wasn't something that was taught to you as far as being forced on you, or was it something that was just? Yeah, it wasn't something that was just open about, where basically is what you're saying, where it was taught to or anything like that. Is that
And I got some gay friends or whatever, and that's it's just it's cool to be your own person and have your own opinions, and everybody should respect everybody, in my opinion.
No, absolutely. I'm just talking more of the aspect of pronouns. Do you think that us as a society need to, after all these years, start adopting a new verbiage just because, or do you think it?
Like, what do you mean, kind of?
Like we should have to go, because there's a lot. If you look at the list of all the new pronouns, it's
it's on there, like it. Like,
do you think it's something that is basically? Do you think it's something that is something that's important that they take it to this level? Like, or if you don't call me this, like, is this?
Nah, because I've been called. Some people have seen me before and called me a girl. Said I look like a girl because I look like my mom. But it's like, that's just, you know what you are. You know what I mean? You know who you are. I feel like other people's opinions shouldn't matter so much, to the point. Like, I know what you're saying. Like, people are doing.
Okay, my biggest question is: do you think this should be forced in schools and jobs where you have to call people? If he wants to be called she or them, whatever pronouns it is, do you think you should adhere to that?
Nah, like how they are teaching in schools.
Should that be forced in schools?
Nah, because I just seen something like that. One of my friends was going to a school, and the teacher identified as a they them, and they were teaching them about it. And the students, there were some students, my homeboy was recording, and there were some students saying they didn't want to learn about stuff like that, or they should have a right to not have to learn about that. And like I said, everybody should have their own opinions. They don't want to learn about that stuff. That's cool. I don't think it should be forced or like taught in schools and stuff like that. Because it's not like I'm taught in school how to be a man or like how to be not be a girl.
Do you think this generation is lost? And not this generation. I would also say there's the generation before that's also misguided as well. So it wasn't just like, oh, this generation, but I'm saying, because that's right now. I'm talking about right now, present moment.
Oh, I don't think so. This because I know a lot of people out there that think like how I think, and I know a lot of people that are kind of messed up. Let's open-minded to change.
Let's say this: what percentage from that you came across in school and just everyday life of people that are your age, do you think what percentage would you say is focused on their stuff and literally good citizens out here that are contributing and good, literally I'm talking about good characteristics and all that kind of stuff? Like, what percentage would you say it's
like
10%, 20, 30, 40?
Probably like that I've come across, or like realistic
that you came across in just school, like with
like 37%.
I'm talking about people your age.
I said like 37%.
Okay.
Because I've met a lot of people that are just understanding. You know what I mean?
Right.
That talk about things, and if y'all don't agree, it's okay to disagree. You know what I mean? Like, I got some friends that I don't fully agree with, like Allie. She's a real cool person. You know, like she supports all that trans stuff. If you would date them, that's you, you know, stuff like that. And I agree with, you know, I respect all that stuff, but I don't want my little siblings being taught that, you know what I mean? But she prefers like her siblings understand how that works and know that stuff. And when her little sister is a they them, you know, that's their life and stuff like that, and I love her and respect them. And I just feel like if people were able to just agree to disagree and be cool with it and not have to force their opinions on other people, I think it'd be good. Like how they're forcing the kids to know all that stuff. Or like Corey knows what a vape is, and I don't like that at all. You know what I mean? I feel like Corey shouldn't know what that is in any way.
That's hard to hide. That is because it's also out in public every day.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't think they should be projecting stuff how they do. You know what I mean? And how that's like with a bunch of things, like so many things like that. Like, I don't think the whole world should just be like how there's little 8-year-old kids that are going transgender. You know, those kids. Some of those kids end up killing themselves later because they regret it. You know what I mean?
Oh no, absolutely. I'm not really with all that kind of stuff right there at all. I'm really against that stuff.
Yeah, I agree with that too.
But you know, like everyone, they could have their own, you know, viewpoints on all that. That's what this is all about, and that's why I kind of wanted to pick your brain here, so that way
I think
people
it's different when you're older, when you have a better understanding of how things work. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. So another question, as far as I know, a lot of, you know, what would it say? People your age, you know, 16, 17, 18, a lot of them, you know, they like TikTok, they like Twitter, they like Instagram. Do you think, when you talk to people your age, as far as attention span, what do you think about that? Are they able to retain attention span, like really focus and pay attention to you? Like, are you guys having meaningful conversations, or is it just like joking around most of the time?
Yeah, like people my age, like my friends, it's like if you have
like they don't got TikTok brain, basically is what I'm saying, where they just get unfocused and stuff. Or
I mean, yes and no, because we're able to have conversations and whole conversations, like debates for like 2 hours. Sometimes like my homegirl Kyrie, she's like, we'll be debating about like Christianity and stuff like that, because she kind of wants to be able to believe, but if it don't make sense to her, it don't make sense. And we'll be talking about things like that. Or like my friends will be like, well, I agree with this, and I'll be like, that don't make sense to me, and we'll just be debating for like hours or stuff like that. And we'll have talks, but at the same time, if we're like playing a game or something like that together, they'll like get distracted and be on the phone for like 10 minutes or something like that. You know, it's easy to get distracted. Like just now I was working on the clothing brand, and halfway through it I just started looking at YouTube and going back up, and then going to YouTube and going back up, and that's kind of TikTok brand right there, you know. And it's just like normalizing our generation to not pay attention, and being able to hold a conversation and pay attention is a sign of intelligence. And it's like now that like it's like the what would be the word for it, the level for intelligence is not as high. The bar to be called does that make sense? Like to be considered intelligent, you don't gotta be as focused and stuff like that. Like some people can be just called smart or super intelligent because they in college, but that you know what I'm saying?
I think we need to get back to a point where we are, you know, speaking a little bit more truth. I think everything's got a little bit sugar coated. So when someone's dumb, I think, or stupid, I think it needs to be called out. When people are fat, I think they need to be called fat and shamed.
Because it's like you don't want to be unhealthy.
I think all that kind of stuff really helps people in
they
a way
normalizing
too.
what's not good. Like they making it like, well, this person is like this, what's wrong with that? That's that person. And it's like,
no, they're fat.
Making it okay. How
are you supposed to know and fix it if no one's saying anything? If everyone's like, oh, it's alright, that's them, or that's normal, or that's the new beauty. And I'm just saying though, like if, you know, because with the whole health thing and all that, I think people need to be a little bit more transparent as well too, just with hey, what's up, you've gained some weight. That shouldn't be like a big deal. Like people shouldn't get so offended about stuff like that. Because at the end of the day, I mean, we're all humans. No one's perfect, and we all need to like better each other in all different types of ways. And we live now in a society where it's like you kept telling the truth. Or what's that? I saw a quote. Smart and intelligent people are silenced so that dumb people aren't offended
or something like that.
So they don't get
like when
offended.
I was fat, I'm glad people was telling me I was fat because I got in shape. You know what I mean? Like I ain't like being chubby.
You probably wouldn't have thought of nothing if they were like, oh,
exactly. I thought
you look amazing.
Honestly,
like,
I thought I was like kind of healthy, but I started looking in the mirror. People was like, dang, you fat, bro. I'd be like, dang. I look in the mirror. I was like, dang, I am kind of fat. It made me work out. You know what I mean? It's like that'd be like if somebody did a math question and got the math question wrong, they're like, well, I see your thinking, so it's like right in its own way, but no, it's wrong. You know what I mean?
So before we wrap this up, is there anything that you want to say to anyone out there that's watching that may be your age? Like as far as any changes you think that the youth can make that are your age that could, you know, better America, or even just better the next generation that's going to come after them. Is there anything that you want to say to them right now?
It's okay to disagree. Like you don't got to be the exact same thought process, same understanding for something to be okay. You know what I mean? Like you don't got.
I like that. I actually like that one a lot right there, you guys. It is okay to disagree. It's okay if you think something is not right. You know, sometimes, you know, you hear something and a lot of people agree with it, but inside you feel and you know it's not right. Trust that feeling. There's a reason why that was put into you. You know,
I be telling everybody that all the time, just from talking. If you feel like something is wrong, or you feel something is weird, if you feel somebody's energy off, you felt that reason for a reason. That's your gut feeling. Always trust it.
Yes, and we're all built with that. And what it is it's a defense mechanism, and it protects us. So we got to learn to listen to that kind of stuff right there. So that's a good one, Sean. And it's okay to say no. Have debate. Have debates. Cordial, clear debates. It helps to disagree because people learn in conversations like that. So thank you, Sean, for coming up on my video. I really appreciate it. Be sure, you guys, to subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, drop a comment. Let me know what you guys think about this video. If you have anything you want to input on this, and let me know what you guys want to see on the next video. I'm gonna drop another one tomorrow. So
and your knowledge.
Yes, we'll see you on the next one. Thanks.